Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new, welcome to my channel. I'm Nora, and in today's video I'm going to teach you guys how to make a box braid wig. But if you are here and you're looking at the screen like, girl, like box braid wig, I don't even know how to braid, I am also going to teach you how to make a 3-strand twist or a simple box braid step by step, the technique, the type of hair you should use, all of it, so you have no need to worry. If that is you, you can skip right down to the time below and I will just jump right into teaching you guys how to braid. But if you are here because you want to learn how to slay a box braid wig from scratch, then keep on watching. So this is the wig, guys, and as you guys can see, it's about 99% done. This is a wig that I made from scratch. It is not a full lace wig, and you guys, it is so easy when I tell you that this wig can be made literally so simply. So I'm just going to hop in and show you how I did that. So the first thing you need to know about making a braided wig is that you need a mesh hairnet. And the reason why I personally think you should get mesh is because of the technique on how to attach the braid onto the net. As you can see, here's my frontal, and we'll get to that later. So after your mesh hairnet, the next thing that you're going to need to attach the braid is a needle and some thread. And what you're going to do is you're just going to thread the needle through the mesh hair cap like so. And you're going to pull the thread through. And I say give yourself at least 3 or 4 inches and then cut the thread. So as you guys can see, now you have your thread that's through your mesh hairnet. And the next thing you're going to do is grab your braiding hair and you're going to tie your braiding hair onto the net with your thread. And I double tie it just to make sure that it stays on. So now you have your braiding hair attached to your net, and you're just going to literally start braiding and just hide the thread into the braids. And it literally is that simple, you guys. Like, it is not rocket science at all. So this is the braid that we just did, and it's attached to the mesh like that. And I'm just going to finish off the braid. Y'all, I did not lie to you guys when I said it would be simple. That's literally all that you do to make a braided wig. So when I started, I sewed my frontal on first, and then I started attaching the hair from the back and working my way up, only because the frontal acts as a placeholder so you know where to stop. The next thing you need to know about making this wig is after you sew down the frontal, you need to camouflage this line so that it's not seen under your braids. So basically what you're going to do is the same thing, but instead you're going to take your needle and thread and you're going to insert it so that way it comes on to the edge of the actual frontal. So now that the thread is on, I inserted the needle a little bit over the frontal so that when it braids, it covers that frontal line. So once you've braided on that frontal line, when it comes time to pull your hair back, all the braids lay on top of each other and that line disappears. Speaking of the frontal, I didn't show how I bleached the knots or sewed on the frontal, only because I have so many videos on my channel on how to do that already, and also because I figured that if you're somebody like actually typing in how to make a braided wig, I'm assuming that you are experienced in wig making already, and you're just like, you know, I don't know I don't know how to explain it. Like, I feel like a beginner wouldn't look up how to make a braided wig. So for all my wig makers out there that want to learn how to make a braided wig, y'all already know what the deal is with the frontal. If you are a beginner and your first wig you want to make is a braided wig, but you don't know how I achieved this frontal look, I'm going to leave a link in the description box or a link on the screen on how I achieved my bleach knots. But to get into the frontal, like I said, I sewed it down to act as a placeholder so that I can then braid up and forward. And once I got to the frontal, I just literally braided it like it was real hair. As you can see, I gave my frontal triangle parts because I just think triangle parts are super cute. When braiding a wig like this, you want to try and make it as realistic as possible. So in terms of spacing, you don't want to braid the braids too close together, because to be quite honest, if you were braiding somebody's real head, like this would be a whole part if you think about it. When I first started braiding the braids all the way down at the bottom, I literally was braiding them super close together, and it was taking me forever to finish just one row. And then I realized that if this was somebody's real head, braids aren't really braided super close like that because we have parting and spacing. So just keep in mind that if you're making a wig like this, the braids don't have to be so close together because they fall over on top of each other anyways, and you don't see any of the spaces. If you are here to learn how to braid a box braid, a regular 3-strand twist, this part is definitely for you. The first thing that you're going to need to know is the type of braiding hair, and I personally recommend Xpressions braiding hair. It's X, like literally the letter X, and then Pressions. And this is what it looks like so that you know what to get. At my local beauty supply store, it is $4.99. Obviously, I'm not sure what the price is anywhere else, but $4.99, I know you're probably thinking like, that's kind of like pricey for braiding hair, right? But this braiding hair comes with so much hair and it is super long. It says here that it is 82 inches and you can use it in hot water. It's super light, it's tangle free, and it's brushable. So those aspects are really important when you're learning how to braid because it helps you save braiding hair. Most braiding hair is super tangly, and the more tangled the hair gets, the more hair you're losing in a pack. Xpressions hair, at the end of the day, all braiding hair tangles, but Xpressions hair tangles the less, and it comes with super big amount of hair in the pack. Just to give you an example of how long this hair is, I'm putting this hair to the side of my ear, and I'm super tall, you guys. I'm 5'9", so here's my ear. So from the side of my head going down, it literally stops right on top of my knee, and that's with it folded, you guys. So when it's not folded, it's really long. So with hair this long, when you take it out the pack, you would cut it in half, and then that would give you your braiding hair. So when you take the hair out of the pack and after you cut it, what you want to make sure you do is make sure that you layer the hair. And the reason why you want it to be layered is so that when you get to the end of the braid, you want the braid to evidently get more skinnier so that it's not super blunt. If you try to braid hair out the pack without layering it, it has this blunt look to it, and so when you braid it, the braid will literally stop short, and then when you let go of it, the braid will unravel because it's so blunt. So you want to make sure that the hair is layered, and the way to do that I do is I take the hair and I literally like separate it, right? I separate it and like I just take it from different sections, separate it, bring it back, separate it. So when I'm separating it, I'm gathering it back in my other hand. It's starting to layer itself. So after I've done separated it, this is what the ends look like now. So it's more layered and it won't have that blunt braid effect. So to actually braid a braid, so you would take your hair in the middle, right? This would be your hair or your client's hair. You would take the braid and loop it over your hair. So now it's like literally just hanging like a hook. The thing to remember when braiding is that the middle part always goes over. Whichever way you start. If you start going over right, then the middle part goes left. If you start going over left, then the next middle part goes right. And I know that doesn't make any sense, but you're about to see. Hopefully my hand is not in the way. So this is your hair, your middle part. I always start left. I don't know why, it doesn't matter. This is your hair. Your middle strand, which is your hair, is going to go over left. The middle strand always goes over. That's what you have to remember. So the real hair is the middle strand. It goes over left. The next middle strand goes over right. Okay? The next middle strand goes over left. The next middle strand goes over right. The next middle strand goes over left. The next middle strand goes over right, and you continue like that. So now you're creating your box braid. That is literally how I taught myself how to braid. Just know that the middle strand is always flipping over, no matter what. Going over left, going over right. Middle strand goes over left. Middle strand now goes over right. So now the real hair that you started out with is in the middle. It's getting shorter. What you're going to do now is you're going to take hair from another strand and add it to a shorter piece, and it now creates a longer piece. And you just continue. Middle strand goes over left, middle strand goes over right, middle strand goes over left, middle strand goes over right. And that's literally how you braid all the way down. So if you feel like one strand is starting to lack in hair, you just borrow hair from your other strand and you just continue to fill. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to start that over again in case you missed it. So you have your braiding hair and you loop it over your real hair or your client's hair, and literally it's a technique from right from the beginning. So the middle strand right now is the real hair. Loop over left, hold it, loop the middle strand over right. Now the middle strand goes back over left. Now the middle strand goes back over right. Left, right, left, right, left, right. And because now the middle strand, or whatever strand it is losing hair, you're going to borrow hair from another strand and just split it down the middle to add into that other strand that's lacking, and you continue. Middle strand over left, middle strand over right, over left, over right. And that, my loves, is how you braid a braid. It's honestly the simplest thing. Just remember, the middle strand is the one that's always moving, so don't try to think too much into it. It's just moving in every opposite direction. And back to what I was saying, you guys, about layering the hair. This is how the ends of the hair get once you get towards the bottom. So when everything is said and done, this is what the tip of the braid is going to look like, braiding it all the way down, so there's no need for you to use a lighter. And that's all you do. And that is it, you guys. That is how you braid, and that is how you make a box braid wig. So this is the final result, you guys, and as you can see, the wig is laid. Like, what? Like, I've come far in my wig making journey, and if that is you, give yourself a round of applause, because to even be thinking about a box braid wig, let alone a wig, but a box braid wig, like, that takes some skill. Okay, so yes, this wig is my baby now. Like, I'll be listing down in the description box where I got my frontal. I got it off of Amazon, but I can't remember the name of the company, but it was really cheap for a frontal. Like, I don't even know, but I'll list it down below so you guys would have that. And yeah, that's it. I'm really proud of this. I really am. And I hope you guys, if you do try this, I hope you guys, like, let me know how it goes, send me pictures, like, I want to see, because trust and believe, after the time that it takes to make this wig, okay, let's get into it. It took me about a week to make this wig, and that's only because I was doing it in between work and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure if you have like a good weekend to yourself, you can bust it out in like 2 days. But because I just started in the beginning of the week and went straight through, it took me like just about 5 days to make it. So once it was done, I was like, thank God. For those of you who didn't know how to braid before, hopefully my method of teaching you definitely helped. Just keep in mind that that middle strand always goes over like the opposite side, and that will literally set you off to be perfect. If you guys enjoyed this video or if you found it helpful, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.